Hello, good evening, everyone. And you are tuned in to Live with the Coopers. This is our very first episode. And my name is Candace Cooper, and with me is.
Brandon Cooper.
And we are just truly excited, you guys. This is our first time doing this show. And look at that. That's working, you guys. Okay, let me tell y'all something. And I'm just going to be very real with you. I have had a wonderful person to come in and assist us with getting all of the tech working. This is 3 years in the making of a labor of love. But normally I am in front of the camera or I just show up, say what I have to say, and then I move around. And now I'm actually, what is this called, producing? I guess this is producing the show and talking. So that means I got to multitask. So y'all just be patient with me. We're going to try to make this work. Are you ready, Coop? You've been ready. So I'm just going to introduce you guys to our format. We're going to have a news segment. I'm really excited about the news segment because we're going to talk about our show will air every Monday at 8 p.m., which means that we would have experienced a little football, a little sports. So we're going to let Coop, he going to give the updates when it comes to sports. And then I'm going to talk about some interesting stories that I just found online. Maybe something that's kind of trending on Twitter right now, or just something that's kind of interesting that we, think we may need to share. And then from then we'll move forward into the topic of the day. And today's topic, of course, is what is your. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but before we get to the topic, you guys, and here I go, y'all, I'm going to try to transition this. We are going to discuss the news. And that is our transition into our news, you guys. So, Coop, what happened in sports?
Straight to me.
I'm going straight to you. Let's tell them your teams first. Who are your teams?
I'm getting to that. We in the Cooper household. On my side, we are Texas Longhorn fans, and we are Dallas Cowboy fans. And so my total weekend was trash. It was bad. My Texas Longhorns went down to the Red River rivalry, and with Oklahoma Sooners this weekend. We came in 5-0. We left out 5-1. We lost 34-30. So that started my weekend out bad on Saturday, and then my weekend finished out terrible last night with the Dallas Cowboys, who. I have no idea what was on their minds last night, but we got demolished by the San Francisco 49ers. Shout out to the Sooner fans. Shout out to the 49ers fans. 49ers beat us 42-10. Dallas leaves out 3-2 now as we move on to our next game. So it was rough on me. I also lost a bet. Lost some money, and I ended up having to, in my part of the bet, I ended up having to drink 40 ounces of Steel Reserve malt liquor.
Trash!
Trash! It was bad. It was bad. Yeah, it was real bad. It was real bad. There was nothing, and I could say that I handled it well. Once Coach Mark, my person that I had to bet with, left, but that would be
a bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
My God.
And that's what that would be. So I did not handle it well. I woke up through the middle of the night. I went to the restroom multiple times. I thought I was going to throw up multiple times.
Oh my God.
That was anybody that don't drink malt liquor, stay that way. Leave it alone. Stay away from it. Don't even go to that section of the corner store. All right. Just stay away from it. It was bad. All right. So other than that, on good news, there are 3 teams that we follow. So you got the Longhorns, you got the Cowboys, and we now have the Colorado Buffaloes as of this year that we follow. Yeah, we got the Colorado Buffaloes, and they got back on the winning streak with on the winning side of things with a 27-24 win over Arizona State. collegiate team. So congrats to them. They are now 3-2. The prime effect lives on.
Yes.
We are all excited.
We are believers.
Yeah, we are believers. We believe.
We believe. You guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not a huge football fan, to be honest with you, ever since I watched the movie with, now, what was the fella that played in the movie? Concussion. You know, I learned about a lot of the injuries and just kind of what happens with football players. And, you know, I've been following that. And so I'm just not a huge football fan. And so, and it's not because, you know, I don't know. I know a lot of people that I love that play football. It's not about that. And I know football is gone down in America as what America's, I guess they say baseball is the sport. But really football, I know, especially
football
here in Texas. But you guys, when Coach Deion Sanders started coaching, I think a lot of us, I became, what do we call ourselves, a bandwagon fan or something like that? Because it's bigger than football. You know, I really am now starting to see how, I've known that because Coop and I have a track club. And so we know that sports, you know, it helps kids in their life. We know that you can learn so much in sports, but Deion is taking it to y'all a whole nother level. And I mean, just to kind of see how he is really transforming that program, and I mean, it's reaching all across America. That's really amazing to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with that being said, you guys, that's going to cover like our sports edition. And I found a news story. Speaking of news, you guys, I found a news story. Let me wait, before we go into that news story, I want to say, you guys, today is Indigenous Peoples Day. Indigenous People Day. So we're starting our first broadcast here on Indigenous Peoples Day. And I want to say that, you know, the reason that we celebrate it here in America is because we want to recognize the painful history, but then also to celebrate the rich culture that Indigenous people experienced. And it was really interesting to me that there's a fun fact. There's still 16 states in the United States of America that recognize today as Columbus Day. And let me just tell you, I don't know about you, Coop and Crockett. Yeah, Coop grew up in Crockett, Texas. I grew up in Austin, Texas. I don't know what was going on, but back in elementary school, we were taught about Christopher Columbus.
Yep, we were too.
Y'all were taught about that was in the curriculum. I don't know if that's still in the curriculum today, but
is, probably.
It might be.
Probably.
But even as a young person, they took it out. Okay, maybe hopefully it's changed. Yeah, I think in the 90s or so forth, hopefully they changed it. But you guys,
they still take the day off.
They still do take the day off. At 16 states to still recognize today as a Columbus Day, it still just kind of baffles me. Because even as a youngster, I may not understood everything, but how can somebody discover a place when there were people already there? Like, it's people already there. And, you know, Coop and I, we started watching this series, Yellowstone. Actually, we finished it. And you guys, y'all know art imitates life. And in this series of Yellowstone, it really talks about the Native American history and the culture. And I mean, it is just extremely rich. And I mean, in all of the different rituals, you know, that they have, it's just so rich. And so I just want to say to all the folks out there in the world, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. So before we move any forward, I just wanted to recognize that. So back to the news. Coop, there was a story that I saw on TikTok. And the user's name was @blendedlyblessed. And this user, all right, get this, you guys. She was divorced. She had 6 children, but all male, between the ages of 16 to 7.
7.
Okay. And she divorced, and their father, you know, was an absent father. And she went on Christian Mingle. And on Christian Mingle, she finds this man that she falls in love with. And then this man comes in and he marries her. And then he takes on the 6 children. He actually adopts all 6 of the kids. He gives them his last name, and now his name is on their birth certificate. This story was absolutely just like, I was like, wow. You don't find a lot of men that's going to take on a woman and then her 6 children and then adopt them and put their name on the birth certificate. And then, of course, they went on to have 2 more children. So I just wanted to, that's a story that's kind of going a little viral right now. Wanted to kind of mention that because it was interesting. On this show, we're going to talk about a lot of topics. And, of course, let me just ask you, because I know in the dating, I have a lot of friends that are dating. Now, Coop, if you were a single man.
No.
You didn't let me finish my question.
Abortion.
If you were a single man and you found a woman, Christian woman,
I'm not gonna find her.
good woman,
Nope.
wholesome, cook every day, you
You can add as much stuff as you want to add. I'm not doing it.
6 children, and then they ended up having 2 more.
Did you see what
So-
they were saying about Steve Harvey and Marjorie?
Yeah, we saw, but they said that wasn't true.
It's possible though, and it's happening around the world.
It is.
There's some woman out there
Yeah.
who loved a man in some kind of way and got that man to take on her children. And when she got ready to leave him, now she's gonna get paid for her children. Everybody's getting paid. No, sir, not doing it.
Yeah.
It's just we're in a different world now. All that feel good story, them Lifetime stories, they just can't exist anymore. If you got that kind of money, you've got to be smart. That's noble, that's great heart, but that ain't smart. That's just the way I take it. And y'all will see a whole lot of me talking about that kind of stuff in the future.
So, of course, child support, families, dating. You guys, that's just a sneak peek of some of the conversations that we plan on having on this show. You guys, there's all
And I will
sorts
have
of
a whiskey when I'm talking about it.
there's all sorts of families out there. But to all of the single ladies or maybe single men, let me tell you guys something. There is somebody for everybody. So that news segment was just to talk about, hey, don't give up. All right, there is someone for everyone out there, and you never know. Yes, and you never know.
Just won't be me.
Well, with that being said, you guys, we're going to move into our topic of the day. You guys, I'm really, really, really excited about today's topic. So today's topic is going to center around what is your why? And here's the deal, you guys. This is when I got to take a deep breath. Because, I think your why changes throughout life. And at this point, I know for me in particular, I'm on I call it my soft girl era, all right? But I'm really in a space in my life where I want to live towards my why. Now, once you hit a certain age, and I'm a girl of 40, I'm still a young tender, wouldn't you say?
In my eyes. Maybe not everybody's.
I think in everybody's eyes.
You don't get to talk about their eyes, but in mine, you.
So some people say, once you hit the tender age of it, once you get to your 40s, you're somewhat in your midlife. And I know that for me, I'm in a space in my life where I just want to live a more purposeful life. And all of the decisions that I make, how I walk, how I talk, the things that I decide to do, it needs to be centered and focused around my why. And here's the deal. Although we started purchasing this equipment and buying all of this stuff 3 years ago, we didn't really push the button until this year. And I think mainly the reason why is because part of this show is my why. And so I want to talk about my why, and Cooper talk about his why. But we also want to hear from some of you in the comments. Please share about what is your why. All right. So for me, well, let's start with you, Coop. Tell me, what is your why?
My why is because I actually care about people. I care about people. I don't make moves without the community and my family being accounted for. And in my opinion, if I'm the only one that benefits from the decisions I make, then to me, it's not beneficial to everyone around me, and I want us all to be successful, and I hate seeing people being taken advantage of. I hate seeing people being bullied, and I hate seeing people not have opportunities. So if there's a way that I can do things that gives other people the chance to shine, the chance to have an opportunity to be fortunate to do something special, then I'm all about that, and that's what I want to do. And when I see those things not happening, and folks doing things that make that a problem for people, you know, that just want to live their life, go to work, do the things that they supposed to do, they came to do, and go back home with their family, I got a major problem with that, and I'll speak up against it. I'm not afraid to speak up against it, and I'll put my action into the works and make that happen, whatever it takes to get it right. And so that's my why. I'm about people. I'm about community. I always have been.
Mm-hmm. And so for me, I think my why, I've narrowed it down, and I've had an opportunity to really think about it over the last couple of months here. And my why centers around God, family, and community. And when I say God, what I really mean by that is God is within all of us. You know, so whether you're a Christian or whether you're Muslim or whatever belief that you may have, there is something within you that is unique, and it is only yours. And for me, I had to really ask myself the question, am I really aligned and centered with my why? And a couple of months ago, I made the decision to walk away from an executive level position because I did not feel that I was centered with the first why, which is the unique skill set that was within me. I didn't feel like there was a value there and appreciation, and that I could really, really work in my why. My second why was about family. And for me, family has been so important. And I'm very blessed, you know, in my life to be able to have a family that, you know, we support each other. Everyone doesn't have that, and so I believe that I'm extremely blessed for that. And, you know, just a family that we love on each other, we support each other, you know, through the ups, the downs, and sometimes there are some downs. And, you know, we also call each other out when we're not doing our best, or we're not at the best version of ourselves. But for me, again, I have to ask myself, when I got up every day and I'm working and I'm going about life, am I really living for my family? And then lastly was community. Community is so important to me. I feel like we all have unique skill sets, and those are things that we should be giving and sharing in the community. And I had to ask myself, am I really doing and fulfilling that purpose in life? And to be honest with you, the answer was no, I was not. And so your why is really about whether or not you're living a purposeful life, and it's a life that honestly is aligned with who you are. And I saw in the comments here, you know, that Jamie Mackey, thank you for commenting, says my why is to enrich others in my community and just myself, and not just myself and my children. I love that.
That's it. And appreciate you, Jamie. That's one of my classmates. Shout out to 9-8 Crockett, Texas. But it gotta be about more than you if you really want to make an effect. I see Marcus Carter also has talked about leaving a legacy in this world, and to do that, it's got to be about more than just you. I think a lot of people, and Candace, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think a lot of people believe that they're living in their why. They believe that they're living in their why, but they're really not, because they're not doing things that help others. It's all about them. First of all, let me tell you something. When we started that track club, Austin Honey Badgers track club here, a lot of that push was Candace pushing me to do that, stepping out on faith to start our own club. When we started that club, it was more about us doing things the way we wanted to do it, and helping people in ways that we didn't see it happening. No disrespect to the club that we was with, but we wanted to do it in a way that we believed would be better, would be a better fit for the youth of this community. And we ended up having to go into our own account, which a lot of coaches out here do, a lot of people out here do when you're trying to build something, anything that you're talking about 501c3. What I learned is nobody's going to believe in you and invest in you until you invest in yourself. And so we spent a whole lot of our money. This in itself is going to stop a whole lot of people from the get-go, because they're going to take, we've been hearing this since I was young. If it don't make dollars, if it don't make dollars,
It don't make sense.
See, everybody's heard that. Everybody's heard it. So when you talk about helping people, when you talk about building a program or building some type of organization that helps people, a lot of times you're going to be investing your own money. You got to invest money, you know, to get money. You got to build this thing before anybody else is going to put a dollar into you. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to do it. It's going to be minimal what you create. So that was something that we had to do. And so when you talk about living in your why, even if you're attempting to, a lot of times you're limiting yourself, because you're limited in what you're willing to do to make it happen, and to make it happen at its highest level.
Absolutely. And I'll even say this, you guys, I've achieved a lot, you know, in terms of my former career, and won national awards. But when I really sat back and I looked at it, I felt like a hamster on the wheel. I think I was living more in my how and not in my why. And I say that because I'm a goal setting person. You know, I like to set goals. I like to accomplish those goals. But what I found out in my 30s is that I was so busy trying to accomplish the goals that I had set forth. And I was trying to figure out, okay, how can I get this type of house, you know, and how can I get this type of vehicle that I want to drive.
Check off list that all black women have.
Oh Lord, here he goes.
Educated black women
You
have
know,
check off list.
we got a list.
Get real deep into that check
Yeah.
off list. It's some salute the real shows with Cooper. I can tell you that.
But let me tell y'all, serious, real talk.
That check
You know,
list.
I was living in my how in my 30s. You know, like I had all of these goals and these ambitions, and it, honestly, it came easy to me. You know, I was even at a point I'm like, oh, I can go get a doctoral degree. To me, but the work that I'm doing right now, living in my why, that's hard. I'm just gonna tell y'all, it's hard. I had to 30 days of meditation. Cooper's looking at me like, what?
Time to get your ass back to work. Let's go. It's time to get to work.
He didn't understand it. You know, he didn't understand it. And he's like, what is going on? But I had to really look deep inside, because I'm looking at like, hey, there's not a lot of people that are fortunate enough to live to 86. I'm 43 years old. And, you know, I had to really ask myself some real questions. And the question was, if I'm going to live in my why, do I have the courage to do so? Because it takes courage. It takes and do things that come hard to you. You guys, I'm doing some things right now that's coming very, very, very hard to me. And don't get me wrong, I can go out right now and probably get that 6-figure salary. Now that I am operating more in my why, I'm realizing it's taking a lot. It's taking a lot. It's taking a lot of hours. I have to really do the work on myself. It's self-care. 2 days a week at 4:00 in the morning to go to Farways Boulevard to work out at 5 a.m. with Coach Mo. Y'all, that takes some dedication that I've never. Y'all, I'm not a morning person. I'm just not. I'm the type of person that even at 9 a.m. if I'm at work, you know, I'm not awake until probably about 11, to tell you the truth. But the thing about it is, you know, I had to do that. I had to go within and find, hey, if I want, you know, to live a healthier lifestyle, then this is a step that I have to take. So that, again, that's a part of me living in my why now, you know, and there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference when you're living in your what and your how. You know, your what and your how is, you know, this is what we're doing and this is how we're going to do it. But when you really focus on your why, then it takes a lot more courage, and it takes digging within.
Shout out to Reginald Masters, Crockett, Texas. My why: increase home ownership in our community, closing the wealth gap, provide jobs, and create comfortable culture for our team. Fulfill my God-given purpose of helping people get into homes.
Ooh,
That's CKT, baby. That's CKT. That's CKT.
let me tell y'all something. There's some good men in Crockett, Texas. There's some good
I
men.
grew up with Reginald in Crockett, Texas. He was a year ahead of me in school, and he has moved all the way out to Georgia and created his own everything. I don't want to go too far and say it wrong, but he's in the real
estate.
Real estate.
Yeah, he's doing real
so
estate.
he's doing an amazing job out there, and he looks great. You look great,
Yeah.
brother, and I'm proud of you out there, man. You're doing some great things.
And if I could say one thing, you guys, we call him Woo. Okay, that's what we call him. And when Coop first moved to Austin, I remember, you know, and we'll get into that, but Coop, bless his heart, he was just trying to make it. And Woo was his Woo was his roommate. And I remember Woo, he's one person that I can truly say is lived in his why. Because there were some things I was like, now where is Woo working at today? Woo went from this position to this position and this position. I'm not trying to tell you business, but you know what? Now that I look back on that, and I'm just like, you know what? That's somebody who was operating in their why, because he was really trying to find out what his niche was. He did not give up.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out to
took him all the
you.
way out of Texas, but he kept going.
That's right. So shout out to you and wish you the best. And home ownership is something that is absolutely amazing. I know for us, we're on our second home. Probably not our last home. But
It is for a while. I ain't moving.
Yeah, I know the move out here.
Hey, man, look here, man. For all y'all moving companies out there, God bless y'all. Y'all are the greatest people probably in the world, because I don't want to move one refrigerator, one bed, one couch. I don't want to move none of that stuff. So God bless all y'all. Y'all are awesome people. I want to say what Pam said here, because this is very important. When you are living in your why, you are at peace, even though it may be hard and difficult. Peace.
Ooh, that peace.
I have been screaming peace for years now. I was screaming it when Candace is type. I love my wife to death, but when she's at work, this is the reason. And trust me, I want my wife to get back to work. She's been turning down some jobs that I kind of had to just walk off, because I know she's in a space right now. But hey, money don't grow on trees around here. But I had to let her do her thing, because I do understand this. When my wife was at work, she's the kind of person that won't even stop to pee. She won't even go to the restroom. She's a grinder. She's a grinder. I'm a grinder, but she takes it to another level. Well, when you grind that hard, once you get home, you exhausted. So it affects the rest of your life. It affects your love life. It affects your life with your family, your life with your kids. The whole idea of trying to get up and cook a meal and eat together at the thing that my wife would do is she would get in this house. She would, I like this part, but it wasn't for me, so I didn't like it. She's coming in the house, taking off her clothes, so she can get ready to hit that shower or hit that tub. She loves to go in there and turn off the lights, to light candles,
light a candle,
and
that's
put that
right.
Epsom
Turn
salt
off
in
the
that tub
lights.
and put her little music on, and she just wants to sit there until she's getting ready to go to bed. Well. That's hard on you when you're excited when you've been away from your spouse all day and you're trying to spend some time with them and talk and have a good time together after the hours. So there has to be a balance. She's talked to me about balance. I think she was missing it on her end the entire time.
The entire time.
You know,
Yeah.
but there has to be a balance. And we're gonna get into relationships later. That's gonna be a whole. People that know me know I've been talking about that stuff for years. So we're gonna get into that kind of stuff real deep. But I think now that Candace has gotten out of the workforce itself for now, I think she's had time to reevaluate some things, and it's gonna make her, most importantly, a better person, because she's going to be able to do things the way she wants to do it, and I think it's going to be more fulfilling to her. So I'm happy for it, but I you know.
And speaking of that, I mean, and that's when I knew that I was not operating in my why, to be honest with you, because I was exhausted. I was not at peace. And it's not that I wasn't doing any great things, because I was, I was achieving all sorts of different things. But what was happening, you guys, and I mean, a lot of you guys on this live can understand, you just become almost a shell of yourself. Life becomes so routine. You get up every day, you're getting dressed, you go into the workplace. And I mean, it's such a routine. Why is God, family, and community? And how in the world can I truly be aligned and operating in my why when I come home and I have hardly anything to really give to my family? And this space, and honestly, I've talked to a lot of people who, and there's a lot of women especially, and I'm actually going to be also hosting Convos with Candace, and on that show, we're going to really get into the issues that a lot of women face, and hopefully some men will even listen in so you can kind of understand your woman a little bit better. But, being a mom, oh, there you go.
We'll never understand women.
Oh, Lord, okay. So being a mom, a wife, trying to have a career, and then also just trying to, hang out with your besties every so often. It was exhausting. Cool.
And trying to please your husband.
Trying to please your husband, yes, and want to be pleased. I mean, hey, it goes both ways.
You gotta put in work.
But at the end of the day, when you're not operating in your why, you do not have a peace. Thank you. It says, Candace, bet on yourself. That's what I'm doing, honey. Let me tell you something. I wake up every day.
Marcus also said, nothing like the grind for yourself. Entrepreneurship is riding the wings of your dreams, leaning on your faith in the process of buying back my former neighborhood in Russ, Texas. Shout out to Marcus Carter. Played sports against him. Yeah.
Congrats. I had to do the big applause on that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Played sports against Marcus. He was cold point guard in Rusk growing up. And ended up going to SMU. Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong. SMU, I think he went to play football and basketball for a second, and then ended up finishing up at Sam Houston with me. So been knowing Marcus for a long time. Good guy, real good guy. Let's see.
I want to give a shout out. My brother here, he said our lighting is great. Thank you. I had to make sure that my complexion and everything showed up here. So I sure appreciate it. We want to again give a shout out, you guys. Kevin and Z are here in the studio with us watching. Kevin helped us with all of the equipment here. I just want to give a quick shout out. But yes, I had to make sure the lighting is on point. So thank you, bro, for that.
Am I seeing this right? Zareta Williams. They call it job hopping, but it's finding your true why. Great job.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. You know who's teaching us about that is this young generation. So the older generation, you guys already know, they get on the job, they stay on the job for 50, 40 years, and retire.
That's what I was. Fourth year teaching in Crockett Independent School District. So, that's what my people did. That's what my grandpa did. That's what my Aunt Ella did. Like my aunts, they all worked. They stayed on the job. They worked. They grind. However, to me, and this is my opinion, those are not going to be the Woos of the world. Those are not going to be the Coops and the Candaces of the world and the Kevins of the world that are creating. You know, those are your workers, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You need some of everything, but you got to have some people that are willing, like Marcus said, to step out on faith. You got to believe in yourself. You know, to step out on faith, you got to believe in yourself. For those who know me, you know that God is all around me. If you know me, because there's no way I could go from what y'all knew in Crockett and what y'all knew at Sam Houston to who I am now if God wouldn't lead my path. So I'm not as quick to say it. All I'm saying is have faith. My faith is deeper, is stronger than it's ever been, because there's no way I could have went through all the things I went through, did all the things I did, and still be here. And at the same time,
that's real.
At the same time, be able to do and give back to youth. And now, since we have Cooper Young Enterprises, our commercial cleaning company, our franchise that we have, be able to employ adults.
Absolutely.
So hey.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's it.
Jobs to somebody, man. Be able to offer jobs. Be able to take care of these kids. Get these kids. This year we had. How many seniors did we have graduate?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So you guys, our track club, we had
we had 6 or 7 seniors. I know that.
But plus, we gave scholarships to kids.
Yeah. That was just the ones that were still running with us. But there are some that have run for us, and then we gave $1,000 scholarships even to ones that outside of our club. So we ended up giving away a total of almost $8,000 this year. Right at $8,000 this year in scholarships. Come on, man.
You guys, and when I tell you, like, out of all of the work that I've done, you know, I look back on the work that we've done with the youth in the community. And to be honest, Coop said it. He said, Candace, I know you've accomplished a lot in your career, but when it comes down to what we are doing for the youth in the community, that's going to be the most rewarding. And I have to tell you, that is the truth. That is the honest to God truth. Because again, you know, when you look at your why and you talk about community, it starts with our children. You know, it starts with our children, because somebody, you know, was the village for me. And that village is what helped me get to where I am today. So if we're not, as a community, giving back, you know, to the youth that come, I mean, we're quick to say, oh, these young people are disrespectful. Oh, when they're doing this and they're robbing this house and they're doing this. But are you doing what you have to do? Now, that's another show. So I'm not gonna get into that.
And with that, I just tell my kids all the time, the last thing I want you to say is another phrase that we always hear all the time: if I knew then what I know now. And I talk to my kids about enough when it comes to everything, friends, alcohol, drugs, sex, anything that's going to parties, everything that's going on in clubs. We didn't talk to those girls about everything. I mean, we got deep with them. We got deep with the boys, absolutely. You know, and we just kept it 100 with them, because, you know, I don't want them to say, well, if I would have known, somebody would have told. No, we done told your ass. We done told you. So you ain't got no excuses. You go down there and you do this stuff anyway, then that's on you. You know, so I'm proud of our kids. I talk to them all the time. For y'all in my Facebook friend, you'll see that I posted about my daughter. She was out there. Looked like her coach cut her head off today. She was laid out on the ground.
She was.
From track practice. I also posted about Yellow Gal, for those that follow me, Angelo Sanders. One of my kids I've been coaching since she was a baby. She's at Grambling State. My daughter's at Dallas, University of Texas, Dallas.
At Dallas.
And so I heard from both of them today. we keep up with our kids consistently because you just want to know how they doing, man. You've been in these kids' life so long, and that is my why. It's just keeping them on track and hoping that they, do the things that they've been taught to do, they've been led to do. They know what to do. Yeah. They just got to go down there and do it.
Miss Z here, talked about retiring at the age of 38, and I'm gonna tell you something. Back in the day, I would have never ever saw, myself retired at 38. But I think
I should have went to the military.
Well, if we would have done that, but let me tell you something. That military, I don't know about that now.
I don't. When AWOL once they went to war.
I don't know about that. You may not come back the same. I tell you. But what I will say, you guys, is like I think when I was growing up, I never would have thought about the idea of retiring in your 30s. But to be honest, I think the next generation, that's what they're gonna do. I've talked to a lot of young people, and don't get me wrong, I think college is an amazing experience. You and I both went to college. We had some amazing experiences. I think it teaches you more than just, when you're going and you're the professors and the experiences that you have. You learn a lot, right? It's about the experience.
That's why I learned life.
Right.
It truly is a different world.
It is a different
world.
It's
the show. It's a different world.
But what I've also learned is those folks that go right out of high school and go right into entrepreneurship, which I know a lot of young people are talking about doing that now. For those of you who you have the motivation and the support to do so, go and be all that you can be. So
it ain't for everybody. I can tell you now, I done got my ass kicked. You hear me? In both of my businesses, with the honey badgers and with the commercial cleaning.
It's a lot of work.
Nobody see? I can honestly say this: nobody told me that people didn't want to work anymore.
Was it COVID? Like what happened where folks just said forget it?
COVID. It might have started with COVID. It didn't finish with COVID because these people still don't want to work. Everybody cuts corners, and that's gonna be
that's a whole nother show.
Everybody cuts corners. There's a difference between finding help and finding good help. And I shout out to the ones that we got. Salute y'all that are good help. But some people ain't good help, man. It is what it is. You get counts left and right, you lose. When your why includes people, when your why is bigger than you, and you're gonna need that support help you out to make this thing possible and make the dream happen. Doesn't mean that they're gonna feel the way you feel. When myself and Rashad step out there to go do our work and we handle our business, like God, who wants to clean? I don't want to clean. That wasn't my dream to clean, But then I got to doing it. And it's a pride thing. It's something that you're proud of. When I step out there and I do that work now, I went from working a desk job, guys, for almost 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
And being in courts all the time, dressed in suits, to coming out with dust on me and gloves from cleaning sinks and toilets and shining floors and all this kind of stuff. It's a totally different atmosphere for me, environment for me. But at the end of the day, shining. And you done that work. And you know that when they step in that next day and they smiling and they
smelling that lavender and pine,
they smell like brand new money in here.
Fabulous.
It's something to be proud of, and it's something to be confident about, man. And for those who are interested, let me just say this: I bought this franchise. I make more money cleaning buildings, cleaning toilets, than I did being in court every day in a uniform, in a suit.
In a suit and tie. Yeah.
That's the truth. So, people talk all the time, your why when it comes to going to college, your why for going to get more education. I'm not knocking. Shout out to my people at Juvenile Probation. I miss all y'all, love all y'all, loved all the people that I work with. I've had so many good experiences. I got so many good friends. I'm not knocking going to school. I had a blast at school. College was unbelievable, man.
I think you had too much fun.
I had a blast. We're going to talk about that, too.
Oh, please
We're
don't.
going to talk about that,
Leave that in Huntsville.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's in the past. It's all good. It's in the past. We can talk about it now. I was a
Okay.
stepper.
All right.
I was a stepper.
Here we
Boy,
go.
man, look at here, man. It's going down. We go. Look, that's salute the real. Wednesdays at 8:00. That's salute the real.
So I want to give a shout out real quick to my girl Bobby. I almost said Bobby Walker. She's gonna kill me, but Bobby Mack. It's the Bobby family. I mean, the daddy is Bobby, the husband is Bobby, her son is Bobby. They just a family full of Bobbies. You guys, I've known Bobby since the 3rd grade. She's on here watching. She's been commenting. I just want to say shout out to them. Are in the Austin area or you visit Austin, make sure you go by Tater Q.
They killing it.
They are doing a phenomenal job. You know what? They are really living in their wild. Because
inspirational.
I'm gonna tell you something.
They big time.
When I would go over to the Max house, it's like family. Anybody that has ever gone and visited their home, they're gonna come in, they're gonna feed you, they're gonna love on you, they're gonna hug on you, and that's exactly what they're doing at Tater Q. Now, don't get me wrong, the food is amazing. There's so much food, y'all. It just, they got this stuff called the Jag juice and the Raider-Aid, and then Bobby said you mix it together, you know, and it's the rivalry and all this type of stuff. They have all this good stuff going on over at Tater Q, but y'all
go check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out, Tater Q.
But let me tell you guys something. It's about the love.
Yeah.
And when you talk about two people that are really working and living in their why, you know, I talked to Bobby Mack, the husband, and he said to me, he said, Candace, I want to feed people. He said, my why is feeding people. I want to be able to feed people. And when I tell you, that is exactly what they're doing. You know, they started out small and grew food truck. Ooh, just
I eat that
big old potatoes.
And they got multiple meats on it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't walk good.
No. And see, let me tell y'all something. It's just really amazing that we're standing because we're eating one meal a day. We've been doing this intermittent fasting.
I'm already losing weight.
He is. And I want to strangle him because our trainer already said, Candace, with women, it takes us a little bit longer because of our hormones. I literally want to strangle him. You know, and I'm telling you right now, by December, if I don't get down, I'm just gonna have to cut it off. That's what we gonna do. We gonna suck it, cut it, something. We gotta.
You gonna go to more days. We gonna work out more days. You're not cutting nothing. We ain't cutting shit. We ain't cutting. You done cut enough stuff. We ain't cutting nothing else.
Lord have mercy. No. So anyway, you guys, I'm joking. I'm doing the hard stuff, right? I'm doing the hard. I'm in my soft girl era, and I'm operating in my why, and one of my whys is I certainly want to be more healthy. So it's about being healthy.
Absolutely.
And then also it's about next year I want to be in a 2-piece bikini.
Yeah.
That's part of it somewhere in Jamaica. I'm gonna go in Jamaica.
Okay.
That's where I plan on doing. Right. Shoot, I might even go. We'll talk about that on the.
I ain't wearing shirts no more in a minute. What shirt?
No. You gonna put on keep on the shirt. You gonna keep on the shirt.
Shout out to what's it that Zareta said? It's
Miss Z.
Okay, Miss Z. Yeah, we're gonna say Miss Z because I don't want to say. I hope I'm saying that name right, sweetie. Yeah. Even though your heart's passion isn't the same, you still have to stay firm in your walk to finding and living your why.
Yeah.
I think when that happens, the good ones. Can I finish?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think excited. When that happens, the good ones that want to work will find you.
Yeah. That's good.
That's true.
That's good.
That's true.
You guys, your why is really about your purpose, your passion. What is it that you're passionate about? You guys, I believe in therapy. Okay, I've been going to therapy. My parents got divorced many years ago, back in the 90s, I believe, and we went to therapy for the first time. And I've literally, therapy has been a safe space for me to go and talk. And in December, while I was seeing my therapist, she asked me a question, and she said, Candace, this is in December of 2022, and she said to me, what makes you happy? I said, well, helping people, and I'm happy when I'm doing this. She said, no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about what makes you happy, something that you do that just really, really moves you. You know, and I talked to Coop about it. I asked you, I said, what makes you happy? And what did you say to me?
Shoot. Fishing?
Fishing. See, he has a thing that just really, really, really makes him happy. And when I really sat down and I thought about it, the thing, and it has taken me this long, but the thing that really makes me happy is using my voice. I know that I was born and given a talent to be able to communicate and to be able to share my experiences with the world. And I finally figured out what makes me happy. I finally figured out my why, and it took a lot of work. It was not easy. But I am thankful, and again, my why has changed, and it probably will change again in another 5 years. But I'm just really, really thankful that I'm in a space where I have figured it out. And so for us, it was important to really make our first show about what is your why. Because for me, what we're doing right now is I'm finally living in what I feel like is my why.
Shout out to Sharon Fuller Barnes. Saying this is amazing. One of Candace's best friends. They normally yapping their mouths every day at this house.
Yes.
She's helped Candace do a whole lot during this time that Candace has been reevaluating her life and her why. And so I appreciate Sharon. My son, Jacoby Cooper.
Hey, son.
We ain't cutting nothing that damn right, son. You right. Jamie Mackey on the path to being a counselor. We are lacking counselors for our communities. I have a passion for helping people. Jamie, there you go. Another Crockett person.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all something about Crockett.
CKT show love.
Let me tell y'all something about Crockett. It's a little loop. He gonna play the Wakanda. The black. Let me see. I don't know if it's playing. You was a little too heavy on the button.
I
it's playing now.
Oh, man, all my people, man.
And we're gonna talk about like how we met and all that kind of stuff. But you guys, the first time I went to Crockett, what is going on now?
Boy, Richard, shout out Richard Baker. That's another CKT person. My wife mounting this 10-point buck this deer season. Say, give me some sauce,
so,
baby.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about Crockett people. Y'all, they are everywhere. They like babies, kids. They just multiply.
They shine.
And it's this little bitty town.
That's what we do.
It's a little bitty town, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm a little envious, right? Because they have the one elementary, the one middle, the one high, in Austin and other cities. We go all over, right? You
probably say we might fight amongst each other.
But y'all are family.
I promise you this.
Yeah.
We burn this bitch down and get us pissed.
Yeah.
We come together. And we do our thing wherever we go. So shout out to all my CKT people over here tonight.
Shout out to
all y'all.
Yeah, shout out to all of you guys. I tell you what, when I first went to Crockett, now Crockett is the town. Grandparents' place, y'all. The down in now what is that? That's called
Porter Springs.
Porter Springs, Texas.
Porter Springs,
Texas. And you guys, I'm born and raised in Austin, Texas. We turned down this street and I saw nothing but dirt. That's all I saw, and it was trees overlooking. Lord, I said, "Ooh, I think this man is finna kill me." Okay, yeah. I had to text my friends. I said, "Y'all, if I don't make it, I love y'all." I mean, I don't even know if Texas, I don't even know if my phone would work down where we were. But we got down there and it was this beautiful place. And I mean, Coop, you really, I kind of, again, living off the land, it was a peaceful place. Now, y'all had a lot of cows down there.
We had cows. Then my grandpa gone. R.I.P. to Odell Cooper. That was the only dad I had. We'll talk about that later on. But he raised me up around cattle and all that stuff. So I've been working with cows all my life. So that was... he taught me a lot.
That's it. So thank the Lord for bringing me this man right here. Let me tell y'all something. Countryman. Okay. He says that, but really, I don't really.
Country.
Cool.
I am country to the day.
His hands. I'm gonna tell you how you could tell a real country man. You could tell if they have calluses on their hands.
We were smart.
You can. His hands is a little too soft.
No, not now. I'm not typing no more.
Yeah, you. But when I first met you, I was like, now I was lotioning down and stuff, using the shea butter or something. I guess because you
touch nobody and they tell you to leave them alone.
Yeah.
Claws, eagle claws.
So here's the deal, you guys. With the Coopers. Behind you, you guys, and this will probably change, but we are really here
That show gonna
to.
change for me.
Oh Lord, here you go.
It's gonna get real good. It's gonna get
But
real
we
good.
have Live with the Coopers every Monday at 8 p.m. Well, it'll be Coop and I, and then Coop will have his Salute the Real on Wednesdays at 8.
And it's going down.
And then we'll have combos with Candace, yours truly. I am looking forward to empowering women and just really talking about getting back into my groove of politics and just providing some information. And so those will be some shows also that'll be coming to you this month during October. But our time is
Our time is over. Hold on,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Sherry
our time-
said.
What'd she say?
I cannot wait till y'all talk about how y'all met. Coop had them long white t-shirts on. Hey, man.
Oh, Lord
White
have
tees,
mercy.
man, white tees. Man, come on, that's what it was.
It looked like a little baby doll.
We'll talk about that too.
Oh
Yeah,
my!
it was
Sharon, now you're bringing up the days of the long T-shirts. He posts every so often them long T-shirts. It really looked ridiculous.
Hey.
You can't talk about the boys in the skinny jeans and all that kind of stuff now because them long T-shirts.
See, well, let's leave this alone. That's a conversation for another day. The skinny jeans have your ass out and they got their drawers up and it's real bad. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible. We'll talk about that another night. That's gonna be a good one too.
Whether you know your why or whether you're still finding your why, you guys, I'm a true nerd at heart. I want to talk to you guys about 2 books. One is called Strength Finders, and it's Tom Rath. Let me show you. It's actually been a #1 seller, and it talks about Strength Finders. Here it is. And we're not sponsored by Tom Rath. Tom, if you want to sponsor us, please contact us. We would love to sponsor you, hon. But Strength Finders 2.0, and you can also even kind of Google this. But if you're still trying to discover what your strength is, if you're still trying to discover your why, then I would highly recommend Strength Finders as a book that you might want to purchase. In addition to that, if you're a leader out there, okay, this was a book that actually really resonated with me in my leadership capacity, and it's called Start with Why. Okay, and let me tell you guys something. This guy, you can Google him even on YouTube. He has a ton of different YouTube videos that are out, and he talks about the starting with why. And what he says basically, he talks about the how. There's this circle of influence that he talks about, and he says that most people talk about their hows and their whats, and again, I've been guilty of that, but they do not start with why. When you start with why, I think this is my final thought. We need to add that probably to the lineup. Do you want a final thought too? Yeah, you should have a final thought.
You got it tonight. This is your show. Go ahead.
Okay, look, we gonna have a final thought real quick before we end, and you guys can get ready for bed. But you know, at the end of the day, whether you know what your why is and you're very clear on it, or you're still looking for it, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. It's never too late to start discovering who you are and what it is that you want. And so I would just want to encourage everyone that is listening to make sure that you just believe in yourself, and then not only just yourself, but then pass it on to your children, because again, it's important for us to create a legacy of teaching and educating those that come behind us.
Do what you love what you do, and don't let anybody stop you from making the impact that you want to make on your community, on the society, on the world, whatever that may be. All right, and it's real simple. It's simple. And people are going to simply try to tell you. They're going to try to tell you why you can't accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, and that should make you go harder if that's something that you truly believe is your why. That's it.
And with that being said, you have watched the first episode of Live with the Coopers. until we have about 1,000 likes. So go over on YouTube. We really have a message, you guys. We're just getting started. If you thought this show was something, just wait, okay?
I already know what's coming.
But with live in your why. And this concludes Live with the Coopers.
Salute the real.
What's up, boss? You believe that?
Of all the
You hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh?
Who said I didn't believe before?
No. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all
What did
that.
I write?
Yeah.
What did I write?
Oh no. Come
Can
on.
I ask my question?
Do you believe?
In what?
You don't believe.
I do believe.
You just answered it. You don't believe. Next question.